Good afternoon, folks. This is Robert Chappell, Executive Editor of Madison365, with your daily update for September 1st. It's the 1st of September. Not technically fall yet. Feels like it should be, though. School started today for me and for a lot of other folks around, which is exciting and a little bit frightening, to be honest. One note that just came into the inbox a little bit ago. Well, actually, it came in several hours ago. I just saw it a little bit ago because that's how email works sometimes. Madison Metro School District is now requiring masks at all times, except when you're eating. Really, outdoors. This is just for elementary and middle schools. So basically, kids who can't get vaccinated yet will be masked indoors and outdoors for the first quarter. I don't know what happens second quarter. I'm not sure what. I don't know. I don't know what the data is to support that, but that's the new policy. I mean, sure, it does have to do with the data. I mean, it's not looking good. It's not looking good in Dane County. It's not looking good in statewide. Uh, Broadly speaking, it's not looking good today. Just for today, the numbers are slightly better than they were yesterday. Slightly better. Nothing to breathe a sigh of relief about. But today we're reporting 1,968 new cases, which is, yesterday was like 2,043. So, like, that's 40 cases fewer. But more importantly, the 7-day average of the 7-day positive test rate is down to 7.7. Okay, down to 7.7 is an unfortunate thing to have to say. I would like it to be. I would like it to have been 7.7 and come down to 7.4. But it hit 8 yesterday. It peaked at like 8.4 over the weekend. Again, that's the percentage of all the tests in the past 7 days that have been positive. That really should be below 3. If you want to have schools safely open, really, it should be under 3. In Dane County, it's like the last I saw it was about 3.9, so better than the statewide average, but still not low enough. So that, I don't love that that's still that high. It's nice that it came down slightly. We'll see if it'll probably go back up. It'll probably, my guess would be, given the pattern the way it's been, it's going to hover around 8 for a little while. We'll wait and see what it actually does. Hospitalizations also are up today, again, as they have been. But not a lot. Only up by 10 from yesterday. 944 currently hospitalized. That's only 10 more than yesterday, but it's 142 more than a week ago. So still looking at about a little more than 15% increase in the past week. And we're still at a little bit less than 1 out of 3 of those people hospitalized are currently in an intensive care unit. 280 out of those 944. That's an increase of 5 from yesterday, but yesterday had been a decrease of 18 from the day before. So it's only an increase of 28 since a week ago. So the population of the ICU is not going up as rapidly as the population in the hospital, more broadly. Right now, though, there are only 87 ICU beds immediately available in the entire state of Wisconsin. That's not great. Obviously, there's a lot of people in ICU beds who are, recovering from heart disease, heart attacks, surgery, that kind of stuff. That's what most of those beds are being used for. But still, they have only 87 out of 100. There's 1,359 ICU beds in the state. Of all of those, only 87 are currently available. That just doesn't feel very good. So, we'll keep an eye on it. It's not quite at that place yet where we're having, nobody's talking about building a field hospital yet the way we did last year. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll have to. We're not there yet. Right? There's still plenty of capacity. The question is staff capacity. Right? Just having the staff, first of all, but also staff who aren't completely burned out. One last thing I'll mention is vaccines. This is the one almost bright spot, I guess, is that vaccines have actually ramped up a tiny bit on a daily basis, and we're now just under 10,000 doses per day being given, as 9,743. So maybe not just under 10,000, but almost to 10,000 doses per day. For a long time, that was as low as like 5,000 per day. So to have that ramping up, it means people, I maintain my belief, unsupported by data. Okay, so this is purely a belief. So take it as that. I continue to hold the belief that most of the people who aren't vaccinated just haven't got around to it yet, or don't think it's really important. Right? There's some small percentage that are firmly anti-vax. They're never going to be convinced. There's another small percentage who just have barriers and just can't get it because they can't take time off of work. English is not their first language. They don't have internet access to make an appointment. All those barriers that the state is working. So there's some people who just have a hard time getting it. Other people who just aren't going to get it no matter what you say to them. And then there's a whole bunch of other people who just haven't, you just don't think it's that important. And I think those folks are now seeing the importance. When you see 2,000 cases a day, when you see 21 people die in a day, you can say, okay, I've been putting this off. I got to do it. I got to get it done. Also, a lot of places, a lot of employers, a lot of school districts, colleges, private employers, private establishments like restaurants and performing arts centers. If you want to go to a concert, you got to get vaccinated. So like the private sector is kind of teaming up to make it inconvenient to be unvaccinated. So I think that's by driving some too. So I'm hoping that translates into a genuine increase. We need to make actual headway, we need to be more than 10,000 doses a day. We need to be doing 50, 60,000 doses a day. I don't think we're going to get there. But every 100, every 1,000 takes a step toward that sort of herd immunity. Right now, 54.8% of us have gotten one shot, and 51.5% have gotten both. Now, in maybe a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, we'll get that emergency use authorization for kids. And this is going to take a big jump, right? As soon as vaccines became available for everybody, there was a huge spike. There was a whole bunch of people who were just waiting to get it, myself included. We're just waiting to get it. And as soon as we could, we got it, right? And that was a big chunk of people. And then once those people got it, then it just died off. I think the same thing's going to happen again once you get kids eligible. A whole bunch of parents, all those parents that rush to get it for themselves, will rush for their kids to get it. There'll be a big rush and a big spike, and we'll all of a sudden get to 65%, 70%. And then it'll die off again, right? So I'm hoping that those kids being vaccinated will actually help slow the spread down a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see on that. That's purely speculation on my part at this point. So that's all I have on COVID. Again, overall, better numbers today, better news today than yesterday and the day before, but only by a little bit. Still not time to take a sigh of relief. Still got to get your vaccine. Still got to stay masked up for the time being. We're going to take a short pause, and we'll be back with more news from Madison and from around the state right after this.
I wasn't sure if it was the right time.
Then I heard about the college try.
You take classes for 7 days to see if it works for you.
No obligation, no worries. I kept going. I'm so glad I did.
I wanted to do online classes, but I didn't have a computer. The Madison College hooked me up.
You can borrow a college laptop and a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Seriously.
My dad always says, give it the old college try.
For real, give Madison College the college try.
Try Madison College risk-free for 7 days.
No commitment.
Just try it.
Like a free trial for college.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you, indeed? All right. On the website today, a couple of stories that I want to bring to your attention. First of all, Race to Equity, which was a project of the Wisconsin Council on Children and Families, which is now called Kids Forward. They put out the Race to Equity report back in 2013. They've been doing a lot of equity and diversity work since then, mostly equity work more than diversity. Not the same thing. They're out with a new podcast now called Hear Us. And I'm going to take my little banner out here so you can actually see their full, the full logo here. It's a podcast featuring the voices of children, juveniles, young people who've been incarcerated. It's got their voices at the center. It's got other voices around them about the system. You learn a lot about the system, about what it means to be inside, how it affects your life, how a person ends up in the system. I haven't listened to it yet. They're just releasing it now, but Malik Anderson talked to the producers and some of the kids involved and has the story at Madison365.org along with a link where you can go listen. And that's what I'll be doing tonight, is giving that a listen with those important voices. Also on the site today, Malik again has a profile on Envy Fits and Fashion, which is an Appleton store owned by Philip Bennett and his brother Steve Bennett and their cousin Avery Brown. They've moved over the summer into a bigger spot in Fox River Mall. It's a black-owned business. He owns Philip Bennett also owns two other businesses: the Cozy Corner, which is a fantastic soul food restaurant that I stop at every time I'm in Appleton, and a barbershop also. So he's like serial entrepreneur guy and growing this business in the Fox River Mall. And it's a good story. It's there on Madison365.org today. And finally, in national news, Elijah Mclean died at the hands of the police 2 years ago. Without any real probable cause that I can discern, they put him in a chokehold and then injected him with ketamine, and then he died. Local prosecutor declined to prosecute, but today a grand jury convened by the state attorney general in Colorado indicted two police officers, a former police officer, and two paramedics with manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide as part of the 32 count indictment. So finally, 2 years later, some accountability for the death of Elijah Mclean might be coming soon. Obviously, an indictment is just an indictment. There will be a trial, and with a jury of their peers and all that. So we'll be watching that as it goes along. That is what I have for you today. It's a beautiful day out. It's a beautiful night. I hope you get out and enjoy it. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there, and have a wonderful evening. We'll be back here tomorrow. See you soon.
This is 365 Media.